Yeah, you already know what it is. Fam79 your social media choice, aka the Aunt Anderson of podcast, and Captain Brew Albano, Brew Diamond Phillips, Sticky the Dragon Steamboat, Pod Champ, Pod Guy's favorite podcast, the Potty Pipe from Hitter Podcast, Chew Bubblegum. And I'm all out of Dentine Nice, but that is not why we are here. I am here with the former Chocolate City champion. We gotta talk about it. You know what I'm saying? There's a title on your shoulder right now. We have to get into. Well, we're gonna get into all that good wrestling stuff. But first of all, welcome, brother Andino. How are you?
I still don't get over your intro. Like, I don't know how many interviews we've done now, but like, your intro still impresses me. Like, yeah. I was gonna compliment you more, but then you did the former thing and like hurt my feelings. But
Hey man,
hello,
we gotta talk about it.
we can. I feel like the appropriate thing would have been to say record breaking.
Okay.
Most title defenses, most days, most appearances on Fight. First in, first out. Other guys have challenged for that title and had that title, and only one guy was in the main event with it more than once. Me. But, you could have said it like that. You could have said it like that. But that's
I
okay.
could have. I definitely could have. I'm just so used to saying Andino and then going into that as your moniker, but as we stand, things are the way they are. That being said,
What was it?
let's kind of
898 days?
yeah.
Come on now.
That's
Come on now.
a nice run. It's definitely a
Come on.
nice run.
Come on now.
Um,
That's cool.
Before we get into any of the wrestling stuff, though,
Let's do it.
how's the fam? How's the little one? How's everybody?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked because, in this wrestling sphere, people do a lot of pretending. They go by fake names and all this crap, and they put on faces and masks and voices that aren't their own. And I proudly am one of these people that don't do any of those things. I very much, because it's in season, I'll say I very much approach things the same way as the great John Cena. What I present is exactly who I am, both in name and in what you see. Andino really is my name. I really am who I present myself as. And everything I do for the sake of bringing it back to my daughter. Some people, go out there and pretend like, they don't have marriages, like they don't have children, like they're a different person or some kind of being. That's not me. I really am a terrible human being that is willing to do ridiculously over the top things for the sake of getting what he wants, because I always put the things that I want over everyone else, because I'm extremely selfish and narcissistic, and I have accepted that because I go to therapy. And acceptance is the first stage into change, but I have no plans on committing to any change at all. I will continue to be this awful human being until I die, because the good die young, but old age and treachery last forever.
I like it. I like it. Um, Speaking of treachery,
Yeah.
did you happen to catch the and I love kind of talking this stuff because a lot of folks just be like, oh, let's talk wrestling. All right, cool. We've done that, right?
Uh,
But did you watch halftime show at the Super Bowl?
so I quite literally turned on the Super Bowl through Tubi at exactly 8 o'clock, and I turned it off at exactly 8:18.
Hmm.
So I only watched the halftime show.
Wow.
But
So first, why? Secondly, what were your thoughts?
well, come on now, if you want to go back and watch previous interviews, right here on the Black Rasslin podcast,
You
Andino
already
and
know.
Pam. I've worn the shirt many a times. I'm a fan of the actual quarterback GOAT, the Thomas Brady. Okay?
Mm,
I will not accept any and none of the slander towards him. He's a cheater, this, he speaks to my soul. If you're not cheating, you're not trying.
hmm.
Okay? He deflated the balls. Are you trying to win or are you trying to win? Oh, Spygate. Are you trying to win or are you trying to win? But I would not accept these slanderous presentations of people trying to tell me that Patrick Mahomes being the quarterback GOAT because he may three-peat. Excuse me. I would not stand for that, and also because justifiably so, uh, the Eagles and the Super Bowl triggered me. So yeah, I didn't want to see either. Very happy for Jalen Hurts though. Like specifically him, that's cool. I'm okay with that. And Saquon Barkley because the Giants are upset about it, and I'm always going to be happy when the Giants are upset naturally. So
Um, Full heel. They seem like really nice guys. F those guys. I F both of them. I don't care nothing about them.
I ain't mad at you.
Yeah, it is what it is. But what'd you think of the show?
I
The
thought he decided to use this platform to speak to his audience, and he did not care to appeal to the mass. And I respect that choice.
It was the pettiest thing
Absolutely. Think about that for
that
a second.
I've ever seen in my life.
Halftime shows anywhere between 15 to 20 minutes.
Mhm.
Realistically, because that's what most artists do, they don't play the entirety of a song. They play like bits and pieces of their best songs, and usually it's legacy acts or acts that are at their peak when they get them, and it's
Mhm.
always the hits that everyone knows, like the songs that you hear on the radio, the malls and stuff like that. Kendrick has enough songs
Oh,
that applied to that circumstance that he could have played, and he said no. And I appreciate that. I am a big fan of not giving the people what they want. I'm all for that. I'm all for that. Use that moment for what you want. Why not?
big
I'd be a
red pill.
hypocrite if I said, "Oh God, I can't believe you did that." I would have, because no, I wouldn't have. No, I wouldn't have. I would have done the same thing if you gave me the opportunity to mass humiliate a man who accused me of putting my hands on my beautiful wife. Any man implicates me like that, I'm going to do some terrible things in return.
Hmm.
So I can't blame him.
So I have I've got the most bad guy takes about this whole situation.
Oh God,
Yeah, no. I've got like
bad that I would say you're bad for saying that.
you probably would not agree with my
Oh
takes. Is all I
God,
would say.
now I want to hear it.
Um, that man went out here. I'm sorry, y'all, because y'all listen. I know y'all like the guy. I love Kendrick. I was also here first, but anyway, you know what I'm saying? You niggas never heard. Like, you don't know the words of Section 80. Y'all niggas shut up. Y'all have so many takes. Y'all ain't listen to goddamn Section 80. Y'all barely listen to goddamn Good Kid, Mad City. You know what I'm saying? Past swimming pools. Like, I'm sorry.
No, that's a good point.
Right? But this guy who has been one of the most consistent album artists on earth. Y'all took that man and he made a $50 million 15-minute show about one man, right? And then if I see any of y'all in them, I don't care if they was $1,500. If I see y'all walking around here in them goddamn bell bottoms, listen.
I mean, was it that the pants look bad, or you got to remember, like he's vertically challenged.
So the funniest take I heard this week,
Sure.
right,
Mhm.
is two guys on a podcast. No, it doesn't matter who. We're talking about Kendrick specifically. And the one guy informed me, he's like, yo, Kendrick's not even that tall. He's like
He's short.
5'9", 5'7". So I was
Five,
like, well,
5'9"
they
I
said,
say
no.
being
Kendrick
nice.
Lamar. Kendrick Lamar is 5'5". The
Possible.
nigga replied, why he ain't just square up them? Why Drake ain't just try to fight him? That was
Well,
one of the funniest things I heard all week.
let me comment on that real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, me being all of 6'3", let me tell you something. Someone being 5'5" does not dictate whether or not they can throw hands.
That's fact.
Let's not just assume because Drake is larger than him that he could beat him in a fight. We do not know that. I have seen many situations personally where someone more on my side of height versus someone more on Kendrick's side of height. And I have seen some of these little people absolutely put it to guys my size. So have I ever got my ass whooped by somebody 5'5"? Absolutely not. Is that impossible? Nothing's impossible. I breathe air and bleed just like everybody else. So let's not just assume that, people that actually have ever like been hit in the face understand that someone being below your chest height does not mean he can't put a fist in your face. So let's not be stupid. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fact.
And also realistically, based off of where both these gentlemen are from, there's probably only one of them that's ever been in a real fist fight.
Didn't Aubrey and one of the most infamous of hand-to-hand combat participants, one Christopher Brown, didn't they get into a thing with throwing bottles at each other and all that?
That's not a fight. That's people throwing stuff like children.
I seen Chris Brown chin.
Now that just tells me that Drake is good at throwing stuff. That doesn't mean he's good at throwing his hands.
That's a fact.
So if Kendrick and Drake are at distance from each other and they both have items to throw, okay, the history books show us that Drake has a real win on his hands right there. Okay, that's fine. All you just told me is that Drake is like equivalent to a loving hip hop girl. He could throw stuff good. I don't mean nothing.
Hey, it's one of the best flying front kicks I've ever seen came off one of them shows.
I'm just saying. So maybe he good for throwing stuff, In a projectile situation, Kendrick, hey, you're already halfway close to the ground. Duck, bro. Don't
stay low, keep firing.
Get inside, Move that big ass head of yours.
Andino, did you see Main Man that's been making rounds on, speaking of reality shows?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not quite sure. It sounded like some sort of Spanish language show.
Oh, Montoya.
Yeah.
That's
bless his heart, boy.
I was aware of the show, not that one, but the actual show that I've seen in America. It's called Temptation Island.
Okay.
So once I saw the video, obviously because I speak the language, so I didn't need the captions or the subtitles. But true story, and I did tweet about this. I was so encapsulated by the situation because I on the side have been studying French. So because French was just on my mind, and also because Spanish and French are like cousins.
Romance language.
I was so absolutely thrown away by the situation. I didn't process what they were saying in Spanish. I thought they were speaking French the first time watching the video. That's how insane it was to me. And then I rewatched and I went, they've been speaking Spanish this entire time. Am I losing my mind? I was sitting there going, yo, what they doing over there in France? This is a crazy show. Like, that's how insane it was to me. But yeah, I have completely caught up to the lore of this situation. I am like, people at my job have actually like come to me because like they know that I genuinely went out of my way to change my VPN and like watch this show. I know the entire lore. Any Montoya questions, I have the answer. I see all the episodes that led to it. Like I'm not ashamed to say it. It's
so the first lick that required a lick back.
Mm-hmm.
Brother Montoya was laid up with someone who wasn't.
Incorrect.
Oh, that's not the.
See,
This is good.
so,
I love
so
being here.
the original issue, the dude, like the big reveal of Shorty, on top of Buddy and all that crazy stuff, right?
Hmm.
Everyone was circulating the lap dance video saying that that's why she did it.
Okay.
But then Twitter then discovered that there was a video before the video before the video. So Buddy saw her with the dude at the pool, making
Okay.
out, kissing. He literally using her booty like bongos.
Fair enough.
And
Okay.
his retort was the lap dance.
Okay.
And then her retort was getting on top of Buddy.
And that's
And
when
then
he.
and I don't know if you've seen it
That when
recently. I don't know if you've seen it recently, but yeah, when he did the werewolf shirt
he
tear,
did. I was.
and then
I mean,
he ran the fastest 40 I've ever seen on national television.
it's him and Cat Williams in Atlanta. Like those are two of the fastest runs I've ever seen.
So
I thought he was going to the great beyond. By the way,
side
I
note,
thought he was.
Montoya is a soccer player, so if you needed to understand his stamina, once people found that he's a soccer player, I was like, oh, okay, now the sprint and him still having the wherewithal and the composure to scream, yell, all it. Because I'm like, that run would have tore me up. I wouldn't have had the energy to keep yelling.
It looked like he had just scored a goal, and that's what the whole. It looks golazo. Like that's all. That's all I heard. You know what I'm saying?
You could tell he's done that type of sprint with that type of energy more than once in his life. But yeah, so it was a lick back for a lick back.
Right. And the licks kept getting
and
more lickier.
And then she then proceeded to see him give the same shorty that she was mad at him for with the lap dance, like give her rounds. And she had the nerve to like let her makeup get ruined with the amount of crying that she did. Yeah.
Like, fam,
and then what I loved what Twitter did, Twitter pointed out that I love Twitter for this. Twitter pointed out that it was very clear that he lasted longer with the shorty that he got his link back with than she did with Buddy both times. And then people circulated back to the fact that he's a soccer player and was like, he probably does have stamina.
Wow. Wow.
It's like, that's what y'all focused on?
Smash shorty to PKs.
If it was 2 minutes and 20 seconds, I'd be upset one way or another.
Yeah.
It wouldn't make me any less angry that it was 20 seconds. But hey.
You know what, though? The fact that he's a soccer player actually makes sense on how phony his run and slide and rip the shirt off and all that. Yeah. Like, yeah, that's how they give it up. That's how the soccer players give it up.
Yeah.
He was flopping.
He didn't know what to do with himself. He looked like he was yelling at a referee after clearly slide tackling a guy and getting nothing but leg and no ball. And he's sitting there with the red card. He's like, "What you mean? Come on, bro!" Like that's what he was doing. It's crazy.
Hey man, bless Montoya. Like, all right, yo. Like you can get back. I mean, you won. Checkmate. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter how it ends now.
I'll say this: if you lived a long enough life, not to that extent, but to some degree, we have all been Montoya.
I haven't been, not to that degree.
Hey, bro.
But I also haven't earned, like, you know what I'm saying?
No. I just mean like a shorty that you really was like trying to give the world to, and like she made you look a fool.
Yeah, I guess so.
Plenty of us have sat there.
Yeah.
Plenty of us have sat there on our hypothetical knees crying for a shorty that didn't deserve us.
Fun fact, ladies.
I'm sure women have felt the same way. So like we've all, regardless of gender, we've all been Montoya.
Fun fact, folks. You know what? Not even just ladies. Fun fact, folks. This is how you create a crazy, spiteful person. Get them to invest in you past who they normally are, and then betray them. That never goes well.
No.
That has created more whores and gigolos and niggas for the streets than anything else. Is this is what it is when you try to be the all right. Hello, whole face. How are you? Nice to meet you.
Facts are facts. Facts are facts. Yeah.
All right. I've had a great deal of conversations this week.
Mm.
With a lot of these tag teams for the
Did you
inaugural
talk to
fight.
the tag team that was going to win?
I'm sorry.
Did you talk to the tag team that's going to win the tournament?
I absolutely 100% did. You want to know how I know?
Because you talked to all of them.
I talked to every team.
But you blocked though.
So I had a very good time interviewing the Duffel Bag Boys. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to those gentlemen. Shout out to the feedback I got for those for that specific interview. Can you talk about the block? Because I don't know how much we've talked about the block as a unit and what the vision is and what the direction is.
So to me, it was a circumstance of wanting more for the DMV.
Mm-hmm.
You know, how I got my hands on this. So true story, a quiet story. I saw this championship because this is, as I've told people a million times over, this is the original championship. This is the version 1 that made it onto the original promo that led to a bunch of very talented men putting out promos to participate in the inaugural tournament. But the belt physically, because I won't pretend, it has issues. The manufacturing was poor, and also it was never meant to be the shade. So this was the prototype. And by the time the tournament had began, the fixed version that Sugar walks around with is what you have now. But I requested for this championship to remain because I felt like in its nature, it's a little raggedy, it's a little beat up, it's a little darker. It's misunderstood. People don't maybe necessarily love it. It's a little crude looking. I feel like this best represents fight because that's us. People like Sugar would never understand that because people like Sugar came in when the fruits was already in the basket. You know, some people they grab all the fruits out of the basket, but they never see the wear and tear of the actual basket holding the fruits. So I saw the people that I consider the basket, the kids that was coming in doing the extra work, putting up the chairs, putting up the ring, showing up, not asking for a dime, going to training, coming back, working on themselves, becoming better, doing the pre-shows, doing promos, actually promoting the show, even if they weren't booked. And you may have not noticed them because they were wearing black shirts and standing in between the crowds doing security. But I noticed them. And that was Victor Walker. That was Keys. That was Tavon Thomas, Mr. Amazing. And that was Taylor Brooks. To me, those 4 represent the right things about the DMV. I'm not from the DMV, so I cannot properly represent you guys, but they can. But no one had the guts to make the decision to actually open the door. Everyone gatekeeps because in reality, they're all scared of the younger, more appealing people taking their spots. But to quote someone, if someone could come and take that spot, it was never yours to begin with. I'm not intimidated by Joaquin's looking like $1 million. I'm not intimidated by Victor Walker being an amazing talker without even needing to train promos. I'm not intimidated by Tavon's ability to jump out the gym and land on his feet like a cat. I'm not intimidated by Taylor's superior good looks. She's a very attractive woman. She's not my wife, but she's an attractive woman. I'm not a fool. Because to me, if any of them took my spot, I did my job correctly. So to me, the block is a true form of what happens outside in the streets. The OGs don't stay on the block forever. So that's why that's the name, and that's why they're the game. So to me, if I don't make it to the big show, but they do, job well done. And I'm going to keep opening doors. And this is another door. And they come in right behind me every single time.
So you mentioned brother Suge D.
Sugar.
Fair enough. Tomato, potato. You guys have a match coming up this week.
Yes, we do.
You, sir, have a recognized world title match on Sunday. Are you in a different space? Like how do you prepare for that? And how are you prepared for the W if it comes?
I am prepared to do exactly what I did the last time my name was said at the DC Brow. Because if you remember, we talked about this, if you guys want to go back and watch previous interviews, you remember that infamous picture of me hiding behind the pillar, being different?
Great picture.
You
Great
remember
picture,
how that
great
match,
photographer.
you remember how that match ended?
I believe a W.
Do you remember who I pinned?
Was it Brother Suge?
It was indeed. So, as far as I'm concerned, I have every right to have this belt on my shoulder. Because, and I understand why she wasn't around, but while everyone, and including him, quite literally, physically, there's video evidence, begged for her reemergence, I didn't sit there and watch the throne collect dust and beg for someone to sit in it. I was an adult. And I walked my ass there and I sat down. And I quite literally came in with the crown and dared anyone to have a problem with it. And no one did. To the point where I physically put this belt in a bag and continued to walk in and out of the building, telling each and every one of you, it's right here. It's right here. If Sugar decides to wait until I'm compromised to have a problem with me having this. You see why I refuse to call him Suge? I call him Sugar because, first of all, that's the name he came into this business with. His mama named him Sugar, so I'm gonna call him Sugar. And his mama knew what she was doing when she named him Sugar because he's sweet. And he's provided evidence time and time again of being sweet. Begging for a woman to show up. Last time I begged for a woman, boy, stop. Listen.
And it's Come not, on, I man. Like Keith Sweat.
Come on, man. Hey, listen. Listen. I don't have a problem with his approach. I have a problem with him having a problem with mine. Because I feel like he and I were doing the exact same thing, just from a different perspective. I wanted Trish to show up. I understand she got prior engagements. She's all over the world. She was being a damn world champion. It's not a problem with me. But me personally, when I win that championship this Sunday, it's not going to be for the sake of being a world champion. It's going to be for the sake of bringing the world back home. They can have a world. The city's mine.
The one thing that I've seen, just talking to folks, doing these things here is the people that are at fight week to week, whether it is Waukese, whether it is Soca Party, you know what I'm saying, Party McFly, whether it is like all of these folks.
Another dude, sorry, but I can't let it slide. Another dude, Party McFly specifically, no disrespect to Elijah, but another dude who was doing everything the right way without complaining just to get an opportunity. So even though he's not the block, and hey, buddy, you ain't gonna win because you're not a member of the block, but I will take this opportunity to speak the truth and tell you good work. You deserve to be in that tournament. I wish you the best, but not too much of the best. Naturally. So hey, break a leg, literally. But you could do
The
it on
thing
the
I
big stage.
noticed, the thing I noticed from all these guys is when I asked them, I asked everybody specifically, what is it about the environment of fight that makes you keep coming back? Everybody got protective of fight. They said, listen, this is our thing, right? So, yeah, y'all bring guys in, and that's cool, raises the profile, rising tide raises all ships and all. But this is ours, man, and that's what I've been getting from everyone involved this week.
I want to tell you something. You already said it without saying it. As much as these guys hate me because of how I decide to approach things, all of them are cheering for me quietly. Every single one of those guys back there that are protective of fight, the way you said, those guys, they want me to win because they know what you know, and that's that this will be at home. And now we don't got to beg nobody to show up. We don't got to depend on someone to be sweet to us. I'll be mean to your face where you can reach me. And don't worry, boys and girls. I'm going to do what I always do. So, get the champagne ready. Even though I don't like champagne. Preferably, just get some water. People got to drive home. Be realistic. Yeah.
We off Monday, man. And they serve Crown Royal. Yeah. Monday's a holiday.
Monday.
Yeah, Monday's a holiday.
But
So,
what is it?
President's Day, I believe.
Oh, that don't count.
Hey, if the building closed, baby, it count. I work for the government.
No, realistically, hey, if I win the world title, we all off anyway, baby. You know what I'm saying?
You already know.
Let's be for real. You could bring the Crown Royal for that one.
Oh, listen, it comes with my outfit. This glowing blob up here that you can't really recognize is definitely a Crown Royal logo. That being the case, what does it take to get this done? Suge has been known as a journeyman a great deal of his career. He's done some things. He's been in some rooms, but he has until now has been known as the journeyman. It was it was in his deal, but now he's walking around as the champion. He's made some defenses, so he's being able to get the job done. What is going to be different this week?
Well, let me be clear. As much as I don't like doing this, but I tell the truth no matter what. Suge being recognized as a world champion caliber talent is long overdue. It's a bad thing that he's the journeyman. He should just be the man. No pun intended. No trademark infringement intended. But he nice at this wrestling thing, and he been that. Anyone who's been around and knows real ball knows that he been nice for a long time. He been nice at this since before I was growing a beard. And I'm not saying that to call him old. I'm saying that to show respect to where he's been and what he's done. However, at the end of the day, any sane human being that understands victory knows that if you don't see yourself at the finish line in the middle of that podium, you should not run the race. Your intention should always be not to just make the podium on any spot. Your vision should always be you standing at the center. And that could go back to that same narcissism that I've accepted through my therapy, but so be it, because it's gotten me this far. I'm the dude from nowhere getting the world title shot. Because every single time I ran, I saw myself on one position at the podium. I didn't tweet. I didn't pretend like I didn't know who was the champion to try to create engagement. I didn't clip farm. I didn't do any of these modern age new approaches. I didn't become a YouTuber and talk wrestling backstage. I didn't do any of that. I showed up with my Timbs loose and my attitude tight. I put a foot in every ass when the bell rang. I collected my money. I promoted my work, and I came back to work the next day. All I've ever done is clock in and clock out. And I get a lot of commission bonus from my type of work. The real know it, the fake pretend like they don't see it, and the unknown get hit every single day. The fact of the matter is, I know what it feels like when I hear the ref say 3, when my hand gets raised, a championship title gets put on my shoulder, and Sugar is looking up at the lights. I've quite literally already done this. I didn't envision it. I didn't dream it. It already happened. I just have to do it again. However, I will say this because people are calling my bluff. There will be no shenanigans. There will be no block. There will be no surprise people that you never heard of that aren't in the block. There will be no staged referees. There will be no BS. I have every intention of wrestling him in between those ropes like a man. And if I lose, I've already committed to it, and I mean it. I'm putting this belt in a trash bag, and I'm handing it to him. I'm shaking his hand. I'll probably throw up about it afterwards, and I will walk away from the situation. I owe that to him because at the end of the day, he still came home.
Consistently.
So I can't 1 minute complain about this championship not being in the DMV where it belongs. And then when the next man does in fact make it his priority to make sure to come back, and then shame him for that. I don't have to like him. But at the end of the day, he literally did what I asked. Not for me, but he did in fact do what I asked. So he wants a fair one. So I will give him that. Whether he wants to believe me, whether the masses don't want to believe, hey, that's y'all's business. But y'all can feel stupid afterwards. Especially when I win. Oh, I can't wait.
Man, I am looking forward to this specifically. Be the Negro League, Sunday, February 16th, 3608 Legion Road, Cheverly, Maryland. Doors at 5, bell at 6. I'm going to be there early because I want the liquor to wear off by the time I drive home. I will be in the front row for most of the show, I believe. I'm going to be all over the place, but I cannot wait. I've been excited about.
I believe the front row is already sold out. Don't quote me, but I've just had so many people message myself, and I've seen so many people already like tweet or post about their purchasing. And I know there's like a collection of y'all that are like pretty quick about getting your tickets. So I'm only saying this for the sake of like, hey, this is one of those ones where the tickets do go fast, and we're not just saying that for promotion's sake, but also most importantly, people are already going to be in the area with a wrestling vibe because there will be wrestling all weekend
All weekend
in the
long,
DMV. What
SmackDown,
happens in them
NXT.
situations is people don't want to go home yet. They want to see more. And also because, it's been held against us that we run on Sundays, but Sunday, no football.
Football season's over, baby.
So now, especially, our biggest shows are always when football season is over.
And Monday is a holiday.
And you're off on Monday. So anyone that's got what is it, $25 for like the cheapest ticket?
Mm-hmm.
Everyone has gotten paid. It's going to be after the 15th. Most people get paid the 1st, the 15th, or the 25th. Every single one of y'all have $25 to your name.
Hey, man, you and your Valentine wash up and come outside the room for a couple hours.
Hey, maybe that violence might turn y'all on to have some more fun when you get back home.
If it do, man, y'all got.
I don't judge. No, kink shaming is bad. Don't do that.
I don't know if you.
Kink shaming is bad. As long as it's
I'm not
consensual, you shouldn't shame it.
No, I'm not a. I don't believe I'm a babyface at all. If I don't like it, I'm gonna say it. Like that's just what it is. I'm sorry,
I
folks.
feel it.
You know what I mean? You always know what I stand. There's no secrets though.
Nah,
so
hey, listen. Better to be an asshole in person than a snake in the grass.
Yeah, absolutely. I see the man smack his old lady. His old lady smacked him back, and they got the kissing. Like, all right, yo, y'all go ahead and get off the road. Get these people off the streets right now.
Hey, first off, they shouldn't be doing that in public. But if that's what they like privately, hey, man.
See,
listen, I'm not gonna speak on the things I like because that's between me and my wife.
That's very smart, man.
But look, my love is someone else's ill.
Hey, sometimes you gotta yuck a nigga yum.
Hey, I like that. That's good. That's good. Man.
You know what I'm saying? So right.
It's gonna be a great Sunday.
I'm looking forward to it, man. There's a lot of folks on the card here.
Mr. Amazing is gonna do what he does. He's gonna show up. He'll have Taylor. So for any of y'all that don't have a Valentine's, you can see what it looks like to see a happy couple. Maybe take some notes. Learn how to treat a woman. Maybe ask Mr. Amazing some questions. Don't ask me any questions because I'm not as friendly. But Tavon's a nice guy. So you guys, if you guys want to know how to be yourselves while also acquiring a pretty lady, ask Tavon. The block will succeed in bringing the tag team titles, right? You can edit that, but yeah, bringing home the tag team titles, and I will do my damn job, and it's going to be a good time. And the beautiful part is there's two options: nothing and like it.
That being said, bro,
as you see right there, your Washington sports wrestling champion.
Oh, talk to him.
That's who I am. To him. You see it right there. Is my screen? Why is my screen doing that?
I don't know.
That happened.
I don't know what happened there.
It's like as soon as I said that, my screen literally just did a backflip.
Yeah, I don't know.
It captured my like the area so much that for some reason my screen did a backflip. Jesus Christ! Don't edit
maybe
that
maybe I'm just in my villain era because every time something happens, it kind of brings me back to saying something very unpopular, but I believe that would not have happened with an Android device.
Because I haven't. Here we go. Mm-hmm. Let me just say, I'm not a phone guy. I got this phone because I'm honest. I'm not one of these dudes that pretends to have, all these guys that do these wrestling gimmicks where they're rich and they live in 1-bedroom apartments and their girlfriend pays the majority of the rent. That's not me. I have this phone because it was free. Because I have a sister who is in a very high position at Verizon. So I was able to get this phone for absolutely $0. If it was an Android, I would have got it too. But the deal was an iPhone. So that's the only reason why I have an iPhone. The first time I purchased the phone, it was when I was 16 years old. It was one of them phones that like has the little like typer thingy. And the
Uh-huh.
first touchscreen phone that I bought, it was an Android. It was a G1 Google.
My first touchscreen phone was a BlackBerry Storm.
Yeah, see? So my first, and I stayed with Android until my sister got into the business of selling phones. So literally, if you want to be real, I've only ever spent money on Android phones. But I'm not a
So,
phone guy, to be honest with you. So I wouldn't have cared. Like it genuinely wouldn't have made a difference to me. And I also currently technically have 2 phones. So there's that. I just use this one the most.
okay. This really started as me joking because I
No.
was getting the reactions. You know the
I
reactions. I
no,
keep seeing them.
I just know that people are really passionate about that.
They are. They
And
are.
it's like the Xbox PlayStation conversation. I'm just like, yo, I just buy whichever one has the games that I want to play the most.
That's
Yeah,
that's
I
the real
don't
answer.
I don't actually like I don't have this weird fixation about Microsoft or Sony or
Oh,
Nintendo.
they don't love me.
Yeah. I have a Switch and a PlayStation. I didn't get an Xbox this year because I didn't care for the games that were on it. That's the only
Yeah,
reason. If it had
yeah,
games, I'd buy that one too. I just have all 3. Because I actually have the money to purchase it. No big deal.
yeah. I don't get to play the Xbox that's in my house because I don't own it. It is Little Fams.
Oh
Shout out
yeah,
Little Fam.
you ain't getting your hands on that one.
Nah. But
What games does he
he
play? I'll spank him.
he's a typical, like, you know, NCAA,
Never
they
mind.
Duty, Call of Duty, all the
All the games that back in when I was his age, probably racial slurs were being said online. Yeah, I don't play those games.
probably.
I don't play any of those games anymore. Like the ones that were those games back in like Xbox original time. Yeah, I don't. I'm done with all those games.
Hmm.
Yeah,
What are
yeah.
you playing right now?
Marvel Rivals because it was free.
I gotta try it. I
Um,
downloaded it already.
it's really fun. I didn't expect it to be as fun, but I literally only invested in it because it was free. Um,
Do you run with a squad?
I have a few people, but we're constantly not being able to run together because someone is always flaking. Um, Another
Is
game.
it any of the block running?
So Mr. Amazing, and I'm gonna say this,
Uh-oh.
Tavon, you have a problem. Every time I look at your profile, you're a higher rank. You have invested entirely too many hours into that game. You have a girlfriend. This is not the behavior of someone who has an attractive person on their side. You see me? I have barely put in a calendar day's worth of hours to this game. You, however, have put in almost the amount of time that the game has existed. That is not healthy. Go touch your girlfriend. Put the mouse down.
I
But
mean,
anyways, yeah. I
that's what
I
success looks like, man.
Hey, listen.
Um,
He's just too talented to do that with himself. I just want him to invest that type of effort into other things. Because good lord, like if you saw his like stats, it just reads sweaty, and I don't want that for him. He's just, that's not him. That's not him. He touches grass. He has a girlfriend. But if you saw his stats on the game, you would think he's like the South Park episode of like the dude with like the chips on his stomach.
yes, yes.
You would think that's what he looks like, but he doesn't. He's this handsome, in shape. He's got abdominals for crying out loud. Guys with abdominals don't do that. Don't do that. And they damn sure don't have girlfriends. You got both, and you got a car. You
The
like actually
anomaly.
step outside and make $1.
Oh yeah,
Don't.
he's
Yeah, don't have the world out here thinking you play video games like this. Don't do that. Don't do that, young man. Stop. Go outside. Touch your girlfriend for the love of God.
Oh man, I
Sorry.
can't wait to see folks on Sunday.
Yes.
Brother Andino, as usual, this was art. before we get up out of here, let the folks know why they should be there on Sunday, and let the folks know how to get at you on social media.
Well, social medias, as always, and it won't change, at @studio_Andino. It is my handle, not my name. God.
So don't call you Studio.
Studio is a nickname that was attached to my old tag team, and I don't want to lose it because I remember where I came from. I don't want to just take the studio off of it because that's a disrespect to my former tag team partner who unfortunately had to hang it up because of a medical condition. He was medically disqualified to do what he loves. So I keep that there because I love my dog, my man Jeremy Grimes. So that studio is staying there, but it's not my name. It's a representation of the tag team that I started this game with, Studio 22.
Okay.
So just real quick, but this Sunday is incredibly important for me because in February, 5 years ago, the people decided to call me Andino Heat, and a T-shirt came from it, and I took the money from that T-shirt's first week sales only, and I put a down payment on my car. I made enough money to buy a damn car.
That's dope.
And that same damn car for the next, because my wrestling career is only but a year and a half older than Fight. So as Fight gets older, so does my wrestling career. When I was only a year and a half in and I was a tag team wrestler, no one wanted to give me an opportunity. And then these people decided to call me Andino Heat and give me a car, essentially. And I was able to parlay that into being recognized on PWI 3 years straight. I was able to parlay that into becoming the second Chocolate City champion and the record-breaking Chocolate City champion. I was able to parlay that into opportunities to wrestle guys that have been on far greater stages than me, like a Noche, like a Suge, like a Ricardo Rodriguez. And to me, whereas October is Fight's anniversary, February to me is really Fight's anniversary because it was February 5 years ago when the second round of that tournament happened. And you people fell in love with Fight when you watched that triple threat with Darius Lockhart, Mr. Grimm, because people like to disrespect him and act like he wasn't there. He was there, and he was a part of the biggest moment in that damn match, so you people need to stop disrespecting him.
Shout out to Grimm.
Mr. Grimm and Trish Adora. Without the three of them in that moment on that February, we're not here today. So to me, these February shows for this promotion this is our WrestleMania. I hate using that term, but that's how we refer to it. And after showing up as a guy just trying to help, now I'm challenging for the world title. So you all love sports and you all are homers. This is the first time truly you guys get to see your guy challenge for the title that you guys made a world title. So you don't have to show up and cheer me, but show up and see the fruits of y'all's labor.
That's what it is, man.
And that's just how it feels to me. And that is exactly why I feel like I owe it to myself and that same moment to leave the shenanigans in the back. You will get wrestling from Christopher Joel Andino Lafont. But Andino,
it's a lot of names, brother.
Yeah, I know. Spanish parents, sorry.
Hey, listen, my nickname and my shoot name are one syllable. I cannot relate. I
feel it. That's why I just go by Andino. It's easy to pronounce. It's marketable.
My man. Hey, man, I cannot wait for Sunday. Be the Negro League. Uh, y'all pop up and show niggas, man. This is going to be a great event. Come on out. The Crown Royal will be. It'll be in my glass. So I will see y'all Sunday. Thanks, brother.
Thank you, sir.
Peace.